All right, put this on. Keep hearing something? I mean, we're outside, so.
We outside.
I'm glad that stopped.
Oh, that
Like
New York
people
movie.
just saying that all day.
We outside,
We
you're.
outside. It was rough for me to listen to. I was not a fan.
Because you ain't from the New York. I don't
I'm
know
not from the
what you-
streets.
No, I'm definitely not from the streets.
Mormon streets.
What does that even mean? Are we started?
Oh yeah, we're starting.
Oh, we
You
started?
know
Oh,
we
that's
start.
what's up. Oh,
We
you-
just start.
We just started.
That's it. So you have 0 topics?
Nah, yeah.
You hounded me for 3
I
days
came with
straight.
nothing.
I thought you had so much to get off your
Oh,
chest.
nah, dude. I
because
came
you just kept saying, "Yo, we're still good. We're still good."
Yeah.
Mr. Cancel.
I just
a
came
lot.
to chill. What cancel a lot? I've come here officially more times than your next highest guest.
I think that's only so you could say that.
I'm still first though.
Like you want to be able to one up her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's a competition today, so.
So I think last time we left off, we were talking about like these Mormon weddings.
Oh yeah,
We were
yeah,
talking about the
yeah,
Mormon
yeah.
weddings, and there was like a bathhouse. There was Vegas.
Bathhouse.
Something like that.
Oh yeah, no, you're wild.
No?
That's so
No
false.
bathhouse?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, there's no bathhouse.
Okay. So did you just go to a Mormon wedding?
No, I
No,
did not.
just a normal wedding.
I didn't go to a wedding.
Didn't you just go to a wedding? I thought you just went to a wedding.
Oh, you're right. I did go to a
Yes.
wedding. Yeah, it was my friend's wedding, but no, it was a normal.
It was a normal one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So was
So
it
like normal.
was it
like
crazy
your-
to you
No,
compared to like a Mormon?
they're
wedding?
more moderate than. Like I don't have wild friends because you know
Okay.
it wouldn't click. If
I'm
that
not.
makes
I'm
sense,
not.
like,
So am I the wildest friend you have?
you're not that wild though. Can you?
Shit.
You're
I'm
whole
also-
dad.
I'm
You can
also
be that
old.
wild.
Yeah, I can't wild out like I used to.
Yeah, no, I don't have.
I
have
need
wild
someone from
friends.
back in the day to get on here. Everybody know
Well, you told stories, so
college stories.
these crazy wild parties that you had in this fancy condo.
It was absurd. It didn't make sense that we lived there.
Yeah,
We should
it's,
not have lived there.
It sounds like some high rise in L.A. or something.
It was pretty
how you made it
close.
sound.
Yeah. So I think I explained what happened to you at least, but yeah. So there was like a market crash, so they stopped building these condos, and someone bought the property or bought the development, and all that was there were the models,
Yeah.
which were super nice, like granite and all this stuff. But they finished building it out with the same floor plan, and they made it just off-campus student housing. So it was only you had to be enrolled somewhere to go there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just us. There was a bunch of college kids that had
Oh,
no
just a
business.
different.
Yeah, it was a whole neighborhood. We just happened to have the nicest ones because basically what happened is they did a similar thing to the dorms
Mm-hmm.
where like you filled out like an interest sheet and they try to pair you with people who are kind of similar. So I guess just by chance, me and who ended up being my roommates, we were the first 3 guys to sign up.
Okay.
And no one wanted to pay extra for what were the models that they were also using.
How'd
So-
you afford this? I never asked this.
So the reason I went there, so let me finish explaining. So we were the first 3 to sign up,
Uh-huh.
and the leasing office was just like, you guys were the first 3. No one wants to pay extra, so you guys can just take it. And then so we did that. Turns out they were too simple. The other 2 dudes were brothers, solid, still best friends to this day.
Jeff? No, Jeff.
So
What's his name?
Jeff happened to know them also, but no, not Jeff.
He wasn't one of your roommates.
He wasn't one of my roommates, but he was
Oh,
part of
okay.
that crew.
Oh, okay.
I actually met Jeff first, which is a funnier story. We'll get back to that. But yeah, so we had these 3-story condos, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 2-car garage, like nuts. And how we afforded it was actually cheaper than the dorms.
That's wild.
It worked out cheap. So in my case, yes, for sure. So either way, it was student loans.
Because you're splitting it, obviously.
Well, we're splitting it, but the dorms were crazy expensive.
Oh yeah, dorms are wild.
So for these condos, we did pay a lot. It was, I think it was like around $900 or something like that per person for a three-story condo
That's not
in Boca.
Maybe then that might be a lot compared to what people are paying, but now that's nothing.
The issue was if you stayed on campus, you had to buy a meal plan.
Yeah.
So with dorm payment, like the dorm fee, whatever it's called, I don't want to say rent, but the dorm
Yeah,
fee,
paying for
plus the meal plan per semester, it worked out to be way more money.
Oh, and the meal plans
is staying
are so
on
trash.
campus. Not only were the meal plans trash, the CAF wasn't open all day.
Facts.
So I worked full time when I was in college. So if I wasn't in class, which I took extra early classes so I could keep working, I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
Except for finals week where I took extra days off, I almost never used my meal plan because I was either in class or at work when the CAF was open. And by the time I got back home from work, it was closed. So me buying food at like Publix, and I was working at the mall, like buying lunch at the mall.
Yeah.
It was cheaper to live in this place. Now, we didn't have to live in that fancy of a place, but it just
got balled out.
Well, what they did was in the dorms is they did like a lottery system, and they gave for like all the dorms. So I already was living on campus, but they were like, we're redoing it. They opened a new. This is at FAU, by the way. I didn't mention.
Yeah.
They opened a new dorm building, and then they redid everything. And then incoming students always get first pick. They ran out of dorms.
That's dumb.
They ran out of dorms on campus 100% between the existing dorms, the new dorms, and the on-campus apartments that were on the other side of campus. And they're shut down now, but they used to have the old barracks that were there.
Oh yeah.
From when it was military base. They were using that as dorm. Dude, they had all of that, and they ran out of all of that before they even got halfway to my number. So I was like, I had no choice.
Yeah.
I effectively got booted out of the dorms with doing nothing wrong other than being a second-year student.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out. Like I said, like they put us up. They put us together super randomly.
Mm-hmm.
And they're literally two of my best friends to this day.
That's what's
All
up.
these years later. Okay. I just saw when I filmed the podcast at Jeff's house.
Yeah, I saw that.
Cliff was there. He was there. He wasn't on camera, but he was there.
Oh, okay.
But he does that, like he does audio visual stuff for a living. So he
Mhm.
was like, every time we cut, he was like judging all the stuff, all the
Well,
all
the setup and
I'm
stuff.
like, bros, you know what? I forgot.
You got a safer recording?
No, we're recording.
Oh,
Hey, let's
dang,
go.
that's bright.
Let's go.
That ring light.
Bright.
Let's go. Use that for my OnlyFans.
Don't say that.
Oh, so Jeff.
Uh-huh.
So how I met Jeff was hilarious. So, I was messing with this chick that worked at a Publix, and I would go see her on break. Jeff worked at that same Publix.
Okay.
So like, she would go on break for like an hour. We'd hang out, do whatever, and then she'd go back to work. But I'm like, I'm not doing nothing, so I'd like kind of hang around. And like I met him through her. Fast forward, we all end up at FAU, and he's friends with my roommates.
Oh,
So I'm like, oh, I know Jeff. Like, so then he's always at the house.
okay.
Because he lived up here, Palm Beach, but
Yeah.
he was always on campus. So he would hang out just at the house.
How close were you to the campus?
You could walk there, honestly. I walked a couple times. Because
So was the high school there then?
FAU High was there.
Is it right over there?
Do you know where 4th Ave dumps out behind campus?
No. I don't know these roads.
Okay.
You gotta tell me like buildings or areas around it.
Kind of where the stadium is,
Okay.
and like they have now I think that's the athlete housing now.
I think so, yeah.
So past that, there's a road that just juts out that leaves FAU on the back side, and it just dumps out into a neighborhood.
Yeah, that's where, and it's right next to FAU High, that road.
I think so.
Because that's the only one that juts out into a neighborhood.
Okay, so it would be that. So yeah, so you just literally.
Okay, because all that is just housing.
Yeah, so you just go down that road, and the first intersection, it's there. The neighborhood's still there. I think it's under a different name.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, it was a long time ago, but yeah, I walked a couple times because during like an afternoon, it's a pain to get parking.
Facts.
So I would just walk it sometimes. But
It would just pick like one area to park, and that's just where I park for like if I'm anywhere on campus, I'll just walk on campus. It's not that far.
And then we found that. So circle back to Jeff. So that same girl went to FAU too, the girl from Publix. So she had found that neighborhood, and she was trying to get in there, and she was just like, she's like, you know, we should get like an apartment together. And she's like,
Oh,
well,
dang!
and I was like, I don't know about that.
Why she said? Why did you get so serious so
I don't
quickly?
know.
That's,
But anyways, she said that, and I was like, I don't know about
was that an appropriate?
But I like the neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
So then I looked into getting a spot there.
Yeah.
So we ended up both living in the neighborhood. I was in the really nice ones, and she was like,
In the dumps. The
not the
peasants,
dumps,
the
but it
peasants.
was
Then you broke
adjacent.
because she's poor.
She was man. But yeah.
Why was she moving on to you so quick though?
We dated here and there. But yeah, I wasn't trying to live with. I wasn't trying to cohabitate at that time.
Why not?
No, I was wilding out here.
No, you're.
I was wilding out here. I just. You
How
gotta
old were you
understand.
then?
When I got to these apartments, I had my 21st birthday there.
21st.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I started college late.
Okay.
So I was in the dorms and
Oh,
I
so
was
that's
like
wild
19,
mark.
I was like 19, 20.
Uh huh.
And then I went from dorm life to like basically an upscale
Apartment
dorm
life,
life.
yeah.
Yeah, it was upscale. I had lived on my own before I went to college, but for a little bit.
Uh huh.
But this was like me always on my own.
Yeah.
But it's different. Like you can only do so much in the dorms.
Oh yeah.
But this
I
is
don't
like,
know what you so much in the dorms, but yeah. I don't know what you be doing, but
Nah, I wasn't wilding too much. But you know, because I like I said, I worked all the time.
oh, that's fair.
So I really was. I was out in the morning, like class and school, and then back at night. I didn't wild out too much. But then when we got the condo, then we started throwing parties.
Uh-huh.
It started.
How was
with,
this allowed if it was off student?
It was off campus student
Off-campus
housing,
student
but no
housing.
one's working there. Like there wasn't RAs or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Like in the dorms, like you don't
Yeah.
have that. The dorm mom or dad, you don't have that.
Okay.
Like obviously, but it's ran like a normal apartment complex. You just have to be a student to
Oh,
sign
okay,
a
okay,
lease.
okay.
So like those people from other schools there.
So
Those
long
people
you're
from
just
like
doing your
Lynn and
thing,
stuff
yeah,
there. Yeah.
You're not messing up or whatever.
Yeah, like I'm not wrecking the place and
Yeah.
noise complaints and stuff.
Was
We got a
there
couple
was
of
there
those.
clean checks? Whatever they call that? White glove checks, whatever.
No,
Oh, okay, that's
No.
super nice then.
but they were whacking the dorms anyway. So I remember they would tell us, they're like, hey, these school would tell us, hey, if you leave a drawer cracked open, they're gonna open it, but legally we can't open something and look into it.
That's
And-
super contradictory.
Right. So if you had liquor in your dorm, then you just made sure everything was closed.
Uh huh.
And they would just walk in and like
Oh,
make
okay.
sure. If it was in like plain sight, then you were getting.
This
in
is
trouble.
so different
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
Idaho, dude. From BYU, dude. It is so
It's
different.
also like probably I'm sure they're expecting everybody to be. Most of the people there are Mormon,
Yeah.
so you're living by a little bit
'Cause,
different
like-
standard.
Because, like, none of it, there wasn't official school housing. It was all just, like, privately owned or whatever. And so you just, like, signed a lease with whatever.
Okay.
Each building, I guess, was different. Whatever. But the one I was in, it was a bit nicer compared to the other ones. But there was, like, clean checks every month. I guess just to ensure it kept nice, which, fair enough, I get it.
Was it to make sure it kept? Was it like to check on? Was it strictly to make sure like you weren't wrecking the place, or were they checking?
I'm pretty sure it was that, because the same things there. They're not legally allowed to open anything.
But so I guess what I'm saying is because of who most of the people there, like their background, were they
Uh-huh.
checking like if you had liquor in there? Like if they saw a liquor bottle, was it a bigger problem?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. But it maybe, I don't know. I guess it depends on the person seeing if they would feel the need to report it or whatever. But maybe it probably would. But I don't know. Because it'd probably be against the honor code of the school to have that. So.
But it's a private neighborhood.
It might be a.
So would it make
might
it
be
back
a
to the
bigger
school?
issue. Probably. Probably.
Yeah, because we had bottles lined up. We had, like, we literally had like the cabinets that wrapped around. Probably like you've been in my kitchen, so
Yeah.
it's probably 3 times as many cabinets. Like it was a huge kitchen.
Oh, okay.
So we had the top just lined up with bottles from the parties, which strictly started from my 21st birthday. For
legal reasons.
No, it was my 21st birthday. I was told by a friend at the time. It was like, he's like, hey, your 21st birthday, I got you. He was very well connected in Palm Beach.
Okay.
As far as like he could get into any club, any whatever for free, no problem. I didn't ask him. He was like, hey man, well, I'm gonna make sure you're good for your 21st birthday. I'm like, all right, cool, solid. So I'm in Palm Beach. I'm already living in Boca this time, but I came to Palm Beach because of this. So I call him. He's like, oh, let me call you back, and then I give him like 20 minutes or whatever, 20, 30 minutes. I call him back in. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm gonna get back to you. Like about what I was like, what's going on tonight? Like, he said we're doing something tonight. He's like, I'll get back to you. I hung up and I was like, all right, he's not. So found a liquor store, and it was almost midnight. And I walked in, and I remember this. It's a neighborhood liquor store. I remember they were notorious for not letting anyone in. Like they would check your ID at the door. If you were under 21, you could not stay in.
Fair enough.
Which is fine. They somehow missed me. I walked in with a few people. They somehow missed me, and then they brought stuff up, and they were like, "Hey, let me see your ID." And I showed it to him. They're like, "Oh, he's under." He's like, "He's got a few more minutes." And then
That's crazy.
Right. And then it's privately owned, so it was like I don't know if it was a son and mom or whoever, but it was 2 people. And I remember the lady going, he's like, no, let him hang out. He's like, he's gonna buy his first bottle, like his first legal bottle here. So she was.
Yeah, wait till after midnight.
They waited. It was like 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Bro, we were about. I was ready to go to the
hour?
club. I was ready to go to the club at midnight.
Yeah.
And then my guy just ghosted. So bought the bottles, and then we started heading back to Boca. I was like, let's just go to my house, and I was like, I'll see what I can do. 'Cause I had a car full of people. And I was like, yeah, worst case scenario, it's just us and some liquor. So I think I got on Facebook. I didn't have Instagram, so I got on Facebook for sure. I might have gotten on MySpace too.
That's crazy.
hit my top 8.
That's hilarious.
But I was just like, hey, we got I was like, hey, last minute birthday party. This is the address, or call me, something to that effect. Facebook, MySpace, sent. And then by the time we got to Boca, it was a party. And people were rolling in like, yo, what's it going on?
Who's
I was like,
letting
oh,
these
it's my
people
birthday.
in?
I am.
But you weren't there.
No. By the time I got to Boca, like it was a party. Like people were pulling up. Like
okay.
So it worked out. So, and then my roommates just happened to come over with a couple
You
people.
got motion like that? You just say we're doing something. Everybody's like that.
Listen,
crazy.
You don't know undomesticated Mark. You know
That's
me,
crazy.
family man, kid. It's different.
Okay.
And it was different. Yeah. Also, DMs didn't exist, by the way. So there was no like DMing like you.
What does that mean?
Like we didn't have private messaging.
You
so,
can on Facebook? Yes, you can.
No. Back when this happened, no, this was like.
How early Facebook
Bro, this
is
is like
this?
2008, 9.
Okay.
This is early. Oh, I think I got on Twitter, also.
I was on Facebook that early. Okay, never mind. I would have known.
Yeah,
I was on like 2013 or.
I don't think they had like a private. But my point is like, this is not like, hey, you should come.
It was like
selecting.
2010,
Like I'm
I think
just
it was.
putting it out into the world, and whoever's on my Facebook or whoever's on my social sees it. So it was either gonna work or fail miserably.
Okay.
One or the other. But yeah, so you know, we had the little party. Our roommate came over, or my roommates came over, and they had a bottle. This is the first time I had grain alcohol, which you don't drink, but this is terrible for you. It's basically jet fuel. Like you could
Okay.
start a car with this stuff.
Okay.
It's the highest proof you can get.
Uh-huh.
So just for a number reference, most strong alcohol is like I don't know, like a 40 proof.
Okay.
This was 151 proof.
How is that possible?
It just
What's
like
proof mean?
it's basically moonshine.
What's proof mean?
I'm gonna mess it up. Google the definition of like alcohol proof because I'll mess it up. But it's basically like the.
Because how can it be
I think
over 100?
I think it's the strength rating.
Let's see.
I don't know how high it goes because I've seen 190.
Measurement of the amount of alcohol in a beverage, usually expressed by the number that's double the percentage of alcohol by volume. For example, 80 proof liquor contains 40% alcohol by volume.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
So this was 151. We took shots of that, and my light flashed.
It's
before
just 70% alcohol essentially. That's wild.
mine. Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, that was the beginning of the parties. Because the very next weekend we had a bunch of liquor left over, and I just called everybody.
You just had a
And they were like, what's the party for? Because they knew it was my birthday for this first party. So like, what are we doing the party for? I'm like, we just have a bunch of liquor left over. So when we threw another party.
Uh-huh.
And they just turned into this thing.
Were these parties like every weekend?
Not every weekend, but I think they were monthly,
Okay.
roughly monthly. We definitely did one.
Like the big holidays, I'm assuming.
So yeah,
Like Halloween, Christmas party.
so we definitely did Halloween. We actually, so this was my idea. We had a costume party.
Oh, I remember you mentioned
Yeah,
this on the
and
podcast.
we had a costume party, and we had two girls walking around with painters, tape, and markers. And if you did not show up in a costume, then they were gonna write like who you look like. Like they were trying to make fun of you.
Yeah.
Not be mean, but they were trying to make fun of you. And then they would write it, and then put the tape on your back. That was harmless, but you know, it was fun. We did like spring break and stuff because a lot of people went home, but we always stayed. So we're like, let's throw a party.
Home. I always thought like FAU is such like a local school. Like, where are you going home?
Dude, that place emptied out. People from Boca would just go home. I knew people that lived in Boca and stayed on campus. It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, you just want the experience. I'm like, it's the experience of being poor because this is not cheap.
Facts.
Like, also, it's Boca, so.
And I don't see it as like a universe. I don't know, just because I live so close to it. Maybe that's it. Like I don't see it like how I see UM or like University of Florida.
Because you're
or
out there.
FSU.
You're out there if you're at one of those places. Like this, it's a whole new place.
Yeah, it's like a whole different experience.
Yeah.
Me, I just drive 20 minutes. I'm home. Like I don't see it as a university like that. But I get it.
But yeah, we ran those parties for a long time.
Were your like parties like the parties to go to?
Yes, it became a thing.
Okay.
One, because we always had a lot of alcohol, which we did a trick for that. So we told people to bring.
Was it
like,
BYOB? Right.
It was bring your own bottle.
Uh-huh.
But basically, we would make these like you've seen like the 3-gallon jugs with like a tap on it. You're supposed to put water in it.
Yeah.
We would pre-mix a cheap drink in there, and tell them it was like a more expensive. People was like, oh, we're gonna have Hulks on tap. Hulks is a drink where you mix like Hennessy and like Hypnotic or something like that, right?
Hypnotic?
Yeah, it turns green.
What you mean hypnotic? What you doing to these people?
It's just the name of the thing. It's not that strong. It's just people like the flavor. It's like a raspberry liqueur or something, like a blue raspberry.
Okay.
If you look up a picture of it, you're gonna be like, why do people drink that? Like, it doesn't look good for you.
I'm gonna look it up.
Um,
What's it called? Hulk? Like
no, just look up Hypnotic.
hypnotic alcohol?
Yeah.
It's just blue.
Yeah, it's just blue, but it doesn't look.
It's just a blue block.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a nice bottle.
Okay, put that away before you get excited. You can't have that. But yeah, so the idea was we would get people to bring Hennessy bottles, telling like, hey, we already filled this 3-gallon jug. You're just refilling it for us.
Fair.
But the 3-gallon jug was cheap liquor.
Oh, okay.
It was like the grain alcohol, which was strong, and like 2 giant bottles Hawaiian Punch.
Hawaiian Punch, yeah, to water it out or whatever.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
we're just like, but because it's so easy, people are like drinking it, and then they're leaving the bottles on the counter. And then
Okay.
like me and my roommates would drink the Hennessy during the week. Not free Hennessy.
That's alright, this guy.
But no, they got crazy. They got a little crazy. Like one of my roommates he wouldn't really party, but he would sit downstairs and like kind of be the doorman, and he'd just sit down there with like a 6-pack of beer. But yeah, we always had a ton of liquor, and our ratios were always really good.
What does that mean? What's the
Like
ratio?
women to men.
Oh,
Never
okay,
sausage
okay.
fest.
Oh, okay. That's like the definition of a good party then?
The good ratio, yeah. So if you walk into
okay.
So I don't know.
Because I was gonna ask, like, how are clubs here? Like, what's a club like?
like a normal club.
Yeah.
It varies. Depends what you like. I used to go to clubs a lot, but I didn't. I just went with the group. If that makes sense. Like I wasn't like, yo, let's go to the club. I'd rather go to like a bar or like a lounge and chill out and drink.
Like you just sit there and chill.
Chill, drink,
guess.
and then hang out.
Why
talk.
do that in public when you can do that at home?
Well,
Like
now
in
I
a
have a house, so I do that. Yeah.
But like, if you had a dorm, you can just do that at your dorm. Why you gotta go to a bar to?
Because the dorm is the size of this. Like that's
Oh, okay, that's fair.
right. Like,
That's fair.
but it's a social thing. I'm just saying, like,
Okay.
But the clubs were okay down here. Depends which clubs you went to. Off the Hookah was really popular.
Huh?
Off the Hookah.
What's that?
What happened? You need a nappy?
Probably. But I don't sleep till like 1.
I know, because
So-
you messaged me, but you
Right,
leave
I
the
still-
podcast
I'm still
early every
tired.
time.
I got things to do.
But yeah,
got people to talk
on
to.
Clematis it was called Off the Hookah. That was like a really popular club.
Oh, wasn't that like in City Place, right?
It was Well, not
Like-
in City Place. It was on Clematis.
Because I remember there's one where you know the stairs up to get to
Yeah,
the movie
that was,
theater.
Blue
On
Martini.
one side, you go down, and then there's like a hookah lounge, and I'm like,
Oh, that might be
I
different.
saw. I was like, what was these hoses outside?
At
for?
the
What are we doing?
hose or the hoses?
The hoses.
Oh, I thought you
Like,
said the
but-
hose.
But
I'm like, the hose
apparently,
out-
that's how you inhale.
Yeah,
I almost
it's
said
like-
drink, but you don't.
No, you don't drink. And hookah's like smoking.
Yeah. I was like, what are we doing?
But yeah,
And I
so
was like,
the
whatever.
top of the stairs was a club called Blue Martini. That was
Oh, there was a club. Yeah,
That was
across
really popular.
Across from the movie theater. Yeah.
that was really popular. I went there a couple times.
It looked like every time it looked like just straight old people.
Yeah,
Like,
they
it
had a
looks like
couple.
an older club.
Yeah,
every time I
it's
went to the
certain
movies,
nights it was like a younger crowd, but most of the time it was like
Older
middle
people.
aged.
Yeah, that's what I
it's
thought.
me now, but Off the Hookah was like the younger crowd.
Yeah, because I feel like old people ain't doing hookah. That's like a.
But no, I mean the
That's a
clubs.
foreign
The clubs
thing.
are okay. Everyone goes to a club. It's the house parties are harder to get a good ratio for
Okay.
because people don't want to go to a house party and then like. it
Why?
doesn't-
What's the advantage of a house party over a club? Why would you go to that over a club?
For me, I don't have to go anywhere. Like,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
done.
because you're hosting it.
Yeah,
but I'm
well,
just
it's
saying, like,
I'm done.
going to someone's house for a house party compared to going to the club.
It's more lax. There's no dress code.
Okay. Oh, clubs got dress codes?
Clubs have dress codes.
Oh, okay.
There was a time where you had to wear button-ups and
Oh, you're
like
fancy.
these shoes. Like, God bless Steve Madden for coming out with these because they were like no boots, no sneakers. So like, what the hell am I gonna wear? Like wingtips to the club? So Steve Madden had like these dress.
The dress
Shoe-
casual ones, yeah, they
yeah.
still have those.
You had those?
Well, I personally
okay.
don't have a pair because I think they're kind of like, unless it's business casual, it looks tacky. But
So people were wearing that in the club. It was nuts. I showed someone. I think I showed Dante because we were talking about it one day before I quit.
yeah, it only looks good with
I-
a pair of
I
khakis
sent-
and a polo.
I sent him a picture. I'm like, bro, we used to be in the club in sweater vests and Argyle sweaters. And he's like, what's Argyle sweater?
That's
I'm like, I'll send
wild.
you a picture with the fucking the crisscross like this almost.
Yeah.
And I
I
sent
went
him
to
a
prep
photo.
school. What's good?
Yeah, that's what we look like. Just missing the tie. But yeah, the house party's more lax. The issue with the house party is if people don't like the vibe, they leave. So like, it's really easy to be throwing a house party and like it starts off good, and then like some people are just like, oh, we're gonna go to this other party, and then it empties out, and then there's like, you lost 5 girls, but there was only 7 to begin with, and now it's like 2 girls and 10 dudes, and it's like,
Okay.
this is weird.
So why is having more girls and guys good? Is that? I feel like that's probably an ignorant question.
not an ignorant question, but it's like it's different because you don't ever go out with this agenda. Like you don't go to a party, or if you went to a club, you wouldn't go with the agenda of like I'm trying to meet this chick.
Oh, you're trying to? Is that
Or
like to try to hook up?
Yeah,
There's like a better chance of hooking up.
Yeah.
But like, how does that happen all the time though?
Not all the time. It's
So
not
like,
like a
why would
movie.
it matter then?
If there's more women, then there's more chances. If that makes sense.
Okay, so it's assumed that every guy there is trying to hook up.
In
Like,
college,
generally,
generally.
yeah. Okay.
So that being said, if there's 10 dudes there, but there's only like 4 girls there, like
The competition, I guess.
it's not really the competition, but like dudes are gonna start peacocking, and especially if like, say if one of the girls like already knows peacocking, like they start like strutting, like going, you know, like when your boy's extra funny with some girls come in the house.
Okay.
Like that, he's like, bro, you're not that funny. Or he starts talking about money or something, like in front of the girls. Like, yeah, that.
That's
that
funny.
stuff.
I didn't know that was a thing. That's hilarious.
So that kind of stuff. So like,
That happens. That happens in the church parties.
yeah.
Yeah, in church dances. Yeah, that happens.
What's like a Mormon flex? Like,
I don't know.
No,
but, like,
you've seen it though.
But it's typically like
What's
that.
that
I don't
flex?
think it's like, oh, I have money or something, but you just trying to be more funny and likable. So
They're just like, yo, you should have seen how much money I gave.
you should see all those
I
chairs I picked
donated.
up.
I had like 3 in each arm. You should have seen me. Like just the most middle school trying to impress a girl stuff. It's like I put so much money in the donation plate. I don't know if you guys have that.
No,
You guys don't pass around plate.
No. We don't. But I don't know. I haven't been to a party down here in a while, or a church dance, so to speak. I haven't been to one in almost a year. Yeah.
Was that convention not considered?
It was. I went to that one.
Was that a year ago?
Yeah, that was last summer.
I went a year ago, 6 months ago.
Yeah, it was last summer, so it was in July, late July. No, early July.
Yeah, so that was like
Early July.
8 months ago, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
7, 8 months, 9 months ago. What? Seeing if it's still recording?
It is. I'm just checking.
Oh, okay.
I get nervous. Got PTSD off the thing, man. I told Sav, I was like, when you're done with Killian, like, if you don't mind coming out here and just making sure it's still recording.
Oh.
I was so upset last time.
But what's it called? Yeah, did I not tell you about that? Did I
About
tell you
what?
that conference? Have I not talked about it?
You talked about it a little bit at work.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, you want to know?
No.
Because there's another one coming up
There's
this year
another one
too.
coming up?
Yeah.
Can I go?
That
Think I'll let me
I
in?
don't think you're married, so that's a.
Oh, it's for
It's it's called for young single adults. So
Oh, okay.
people between 18 and 35. I know it's a wild age difference, but 18 and 35 that aren't married.
I'm just documenting
You're just there to
the.
observe.
I'm making a documentary.
You'll
yeah.
probably think it's very interesting to know.
I probably would.
But it's this one coming up it's 3 days. You're staying at a Disney hotel and then you're going to Disney one of those days.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
You told me about that part. So everybody goes as like a group.
What do you mean everybody goes?
Like everybody goes as a group to Disney.
Well, you just go. They give you like a ticket. You can go by
Oh,
yourself.
okay.
You can go with 50 people, but it's typically cliquey. I think that's just how society is.
That's what you were
just how
explaining to me.
How society is nowadays.
Yeah,
You
you've
just
gone-
stick with friends.
Yeah, you've gone. You said you've gone to a couple of them, and then like everyone gets
Well,
in
like
a
I've
little
got
friend
most
group.
dances. Yeah, it's just like you just stick with your friend group the whole time. That's lame.
But you were like,
why
not
am I
this
there?
time.
Yeah, the one when I went last year, I was like, one day I was like, I'm here to meet new people, so let me meet new people.
Yeah.
So I met people, and I went with them to. Last year was SeaWorld. I went to SeaWorld. Which SeaWorld is ghetto, by the way. If you haven't been in a while,
I haven't been and I don't want
it's
to go.
so
I'm sure
ghetto,
it is.
dude.
Nothing can be more ghetto than Miami Seaquarium.
I
That
haven't
was
been in
so rough.
long.
I went once and it was actually really good. Like, I really wanted to go
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, this seems like a cool place, and I more wanted to go because they offered that. They had the thing where you put like the dive helmet on
Okay.
and you can go underwater. Like, you don't need a
Okay,
tank.
Yeah.
Super touristy shit, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And I don't need to be scuba certified to do it. We didn't do that. I don't know if she missed that part or if it was wildly expensive or something. But
Who's she?
a friend took me for
Okay.
my birthday one year, and super nice, like trip. But we went and it was so grimy. Like the chairs, you know how like plastic chairs when they're in the sun too long they just fade. They were all faded. Like they didn't even try to clean them up. I remember when we're watching like the dolphin orca show.
Okay.
And I'm looking at this tank and I'm like, there's no way that both shows happen in this tank. Like it's just too small.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes this orca come flying out, and I'm like, this orca doesn't fit in this. I'm like, this is nuts. I'm like, you see how bad they're treated in captivity, and like it's just not enough space, and you get bummed out.
Yeah.
Like you're happy to see the animals.
SeaWorld, I'm sure you heard of like the whole thing about SeaWorld, right?
Yeah, and Blackfish and all that stuff.
So I've been to SeaWorld before and after this.
Mm-hmm.
And like the orca show is wildly different. Before the orca is like, oh, do all the tricks, and it's like I went with like Shamu thing, and then they had a like whole thing at night where it's like you wear the thing and like I don't know, the splashing.
Oh, the splash zone?
Yeah. And they still do that now, but then it completely shifts from like more entertainment to essentially the whole thing is them showing you on how like it's a mutual beneficial relationship for both of them, on how they do this on their own voluntary thing. They're not forced to do anything, on how well they're treated, all this medical care they get. And I'm like, bro, I get it.
They need the medical care because they're stuck in this tank.
But like I'm not an animal behaviorist or whatever. But I was like, I'll take your word for it. But I don't know how.
No, when they were doing the dolphin portion, they were like, oh, this is the new dolphin Croy, and he wouldn't do the trick right. Like they wanted him to jump through a hoop, and they had him like with another dolphin, like hoping he'd follow the dolphin. I think he did it once, but they're trained to do the trick, and then come back so they can get their reward, which is food.
Yeah.
So he wasn't doing it. He would jump out of the water, but he'd turn. Like he's like, I don't want to go over this. They had just like a giant rope.
Yeah.
They wanted him to jump
over.
But he was still new to go back to get his food, and they just wouldn't give it to him. Like I watched him like 5 times not give the dolphin.
You didn't do the trick. You don't get the food,
bro. But
what do you think this is though?
He's a wild animal. He doesn't know.
Nah, you could probably.
No. He's like, listen, I jumped out of the water.
Because it's the same thing with your dog. If you don't do the trick, you don't get the food. It's the same. It's the same concept.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different when it's a wild animal. Your dog's not a wild animal.
Is it not?
No.
Okay. But so isn't the dolphin.
The dolphin's a wild animal. They took it out of the wild and brought it into.
Okay. Fair enough.
And now you're mad that it doesn't understand this trick. But after I left there, not long after that, I found out that was the smallest tank in the world holding an orca.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no other place that had a captive orca had a tank smaller than that. And I was like, oh, checks out.
That sounds so depressing.
That thing did not fit in there.
That's so depressing.
It was so bad. I don't even know if Miami Seaquarium's still open.
Who knows at this point?
They gotta shut these places.
I only know I went as a little kid, probably like 20 years ago, but I don't remember anything of it.
No, I've never been to SeaWorld. Anyway. They have mad roller coasters too.
Ooh, at SeaWorld? Oh yeah, no, the roller coasters are fire. I'll give it that. Like I was not expecting the roller coasters to be that crazy. So like that was a cool thing. But like you just go there and it just feels dirty. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels raggedy, dude. Because I go to Disney and Universal the whole time, and it feels professionally run.
They're putting all the money into positive PR. Like it's so bad.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Up the place.
They put all the money towards their orca thing to fix their
doing damage control.
Facts. And then Aquatica's their water park, which used to be amazing when it first opened up. Now it's just trash. So
we didn't make it. We just went to Legoland. We didn't make it to the.
I've never been to
water park
Legoland
section. It's cool, man. It's just a lot of walking.
Oh, well,
it's not. Park. It's not set up to take you through the park and then back out the front.
Really?
Like it's a straight shot, and
That's
then you
weird.
come all the way back.
That's weird.
So yeah.
Because every theme park I've ever known is that.
Yeah.
It's essentially a big loop.
It's like imagine a tree trunk with branches, and like there's little sections. So like the Ninjago area is one branch, and then you have like Lego City is another branch, and it's just like everything's a store.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
Everything's a store.
Oh well, yeah. Of course, it's Lego.
There's so many Legos.
Facts. Legos is lit though.
Yeah, it is.
Those are great. They're just so expensive, dude. The
They're
sets.
they're expensive. My kid puts them together with a quickness that just doesn't make sense.
I feel that.
The other, I think we put together three or four sets over the weekend, and like when I say sets, like hundreds of pieces. Like
Yeah.
we're like 800-900
I
pieces
bought,
a set, but he's just like plugging away.
This last year was like the 25th anniversary of one of the Star Wars movies. I think it was last year or 2 years ago or whatever. And I bought one of the like characters from that, and it's a Lego set. It's the droidicas. I don't know if you know Star Wars. It's the one that
rolls.
Is the droids that roll
Yeah,
and then they come up and then they shoot?
But is it the big one?
Yeah, it's
It's
the
a big one, right? Yeah.
Well, it's not like huge, but it's kind of probably like this big.
It's not this big.
It's probably like 700 pieces. That thing took me like 3 hours to do. It was, which the instructions are super easy, but like it's just still like making sure you do it right and everything. But that thing like that, it was like $70. I was like,
No,
damn.
they're not cheap. And then of course we went with the whole family, so like every time you wanted one, like a different family member, it's like, yeah, I'll get it. So like we were just at one point we were just walking with bags.
Facts. That's probably why you go. What's that?
So what else, Jan? How we getting me in this convention?
You can just sign up, but
Is there a sign up?
Yeah, you just register.
Send me a link. I will go.
I'm apprehensive to send
Why?
me. I don't know why. That's the thing.
You think I'm gonna embarrass you?
No.
You sure? Because I will.
Oh yeah. As soon as I said no, I was like, yeah, he's gonna embarrass me. There's no.
No, I wouldn't do that, but like I would genuinely go.
You'd feel.
Here's my only issue, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when we first started like conversating, and I would ask you about like Mormon stuff,
Like at work.
Yeah. I felt like you thought I was asking you to mess with you, and not because I was genuinely curious.
Oh no, you really wasn't.
Okay. But I feel like some people might take it as that, because I'll just ask anything.
Oh yeah.
I'll ask anything to someone I met 30 seconds ago.
When you met me, I already came from my mission, and like I've had absolute wild things, like of all like from this the whole spectrum of
like,
wild.
hey, do I have to give up crack rocks?
No, just like simple questions to like getting yelled at and threatened and stuff like it was wild. But so like what doesn't bother me anymore. So
That's good.
And if I don't know the answer, I'll just tell you I don't know. 'Cause I don't know everything.
Yeah, but you say that a lot.
So yeah, no, it never bothered me.
Alright, so I'm gonna pull up. Where is it? Where's the next one?
Orlando, I told you.
It's always in Orlando?
Well, I think probably because that's just where stuff is. There's going to be 2,000 people there, by the way. 1,000 more, double than last year. So
They get upset if I dress in like a white white button-up cutoff and a black tie.
No. That's probably going to be how half of them dress.
Yeah, I know.
To be honest, on that Sunday. Because you get there Friday, you go to the registration place, pick up your ticket, whatever. This is assuming what I'm happening from last year.
Okay.
You get, and then you head over to the hotel. This one's going to be at a Disney hotel, so it's going to be nice. Last year was at I think it was like a Marriott or something that was owned, that's right next to SeaWorld that you can walk. Trash hotel, but the water smelled terrible. I don't know how to explain it. And then I was asking everyone, why does our water smell bad? But
it's Florida.
The pipes, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So you go to the hotel, drop your stuff, and then I think that time they had a dance.
Oh yeah.
Which the most middle. Oh,
what are you guys dancing to?
To be honest, I was surprised at the music they were playing.
Kids Bop or what?
No, I was surprised at the music.
Yo, you want to hear surprising music? We took Killian to his birthday dinner at BJ's Brew House. And Milkshake started playing.
That's crazy.
I was like, yo, what is going on?
So that's a video kind of short video of the dance. It's the most middle school dance at times ever.
Can you send me this clip? So
Yeah,
I
I'll
can
send
cut
it.
it into the video
I'll send it
so
to
everybody
you.
else can see it. Because everyone's mashing.
Oh yeah, because it was supposed to be like a neon light the thing, whatever. So you're supposed to wear like
Okay.
neon green or orange or pink or whatever, like neon colors. And then they handed out like glow sticks. I think glow sticks.
Yeah, I
right?
see.
So you
Somebody
put the-
somebody was wearing them around his ankles.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was trying to do. He was probably gonna put his legs up for Jesus at some point.
But like, it's pretty tame there. But other times they're playing the most wild of songs. There's I don't listen to this music anymore. But there's one about some lady saying about 6 figures or whatever. No, 8 figures, and then that's it.
Oh
Yeah. I
no.
was like, this is wild.
No, it's like my type.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
there's no way. They
And then
play
music
that.
like that, like 5-10 minutes of music straight. Like I was like, who will approve this playlist?
That's crazy. Was it edited? Please tell me it was edited.
I don't think I don't think there was swearing in it. But
Okay. Well, it's not the swearing. Is that she's in that song? She talks about wanting a certain size thing.
That's
She talks
crazy.
about her size preference.
oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but I remember there's a lot of times during this dance I was like, who approved this playlist?
You know what? I can't judge
This is wild.
because, and this is common. You know this. When kids are younger at their birthday parties, Caribbean folk would just play whatever.
Uh-huh.
I think Sav was still drinking these times,
Uh-huh.
and that song came on. And
That's
she,
crazy.
She was singing it, like she was singing along to it, and then
Uh-huh.
kept looking at me, and I was like, "My family's here. Can you not,
Behave
not do
yourself.
this, please."
Yeah, so that was wild. I was like, who
That's crazy
Who's
at the
approving this?
Mormon convention. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, they wild out. We were talking about this before, and I'm gonna check because I don't need it cutting out again when I start talking about this.
We got 5 minutes.
We got 5 minutes back.
Yeah. Hit me.
Yeah, like your parties have to wild out. They have to.
Not my
They-
parties.
no,
My
they-
parties are
maybe not
tame.
you, but I feel like there's enough Mormons out here wilding out.
Okay.
We're talking about this with the bachelor parties. You're like, yeah, a
Oh,
lot-
yeah, I
because of how
remember you
close it
mentioned
is to
it, yeah.
Utah, that a lot of them go to Vegas, and I'm like, there's no way they're not wilding out.
I'm sure some of them
Even
do.
if it's
but-
not like my level of wilding out, like
Uh-huh.
someone who's not Mormon.
But someone
But-
if I see him, I'll be like, y'all wildin'.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
like
okay,
another
okay.
Mormon's like, yo, I thought we were wilding. Like they're
Okay.
wilding out. Like,
But the thing
it
is,
has
though,
to be.
like,
And then
I
there's-
would just say that since we don't have, like, here we don't have the culture of the religion, if that makes sense. I don't know how to
in
explain
Florida,
this.
you mean?
But like, if you see, you know how me and how I act and stuff like
Yeah.
that. If you went to Utah and be amongst them, you would be like, Jan is way different from these people.
You've told
You
me
would
that.
think I'm way more
Yeah.
normal, like not normal in your sense, if that makes sense. Like I'm much more like the rest of people.
You're closer to like me than you are
Than-
them.
Yeah, than they
Yeah.
are to you, like way closer.
Yeah.
Because they're wild. I thought they were weird. So
You, you
I
told me
thought
that
they
you're
were
like,
weird.
you guys- you went over there and called them nerds.
I didn't
It's
call them
messed
nerds,
up.
but I'm just like y'all are weird. But yeah.
They looked at you crazy for drinking soda or something.
No. So, but there's when I told you about the training center that you go as a missionary before you get sent out.
Yeah.
They don't have caffeine anything there. Like Coke.
They're
no
not
caffeine.
risking it. Yeah.
It's like Coke or like no caffeine anything there, which I thought was wild.
Just fancy lights.
Yeah, I was just like, and I told you that they drink chocolate milk with everything.
No.
Have I mentioned
that's-
this?
No. Chocolate milk with everything.
Everything. I'm not joking to you.
Like chicken tendies and chocolate milk.
Yes,
Like my kid.
rice and chocolate milk. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
It was like on tap, and these people. It was,
Okay, now I'm
it was
kind of on
wild.
board now. It's on tap. I
No,
really
no,
need
it's
on tap
disgusting. I remember seeing these people like y'all are gross.
chocolate. But chocolate milk with everything's a little crazy.
Yeah, no, they love the chocolate
Milkshakes?
milk.
No, just the straight chocolate milk.
Yeah, I'm talking about chocolate milk. Look like David out here, just drinking straight chocolate milk by the gallons.
He said once. No, you and I know David. This guy drinks milk all the time, constantly. He's not drinking soda. He's at home drinking milk. He said it's not just him. It's his brother and his dad too.
Oh yeah, I bet.
And he said
I know this
he
story.
said his mom genuinely thought about getting a cow.
Yeah,
because they were just like, this is too much.
I remember when he said that she freaked out one time. She's like, I'm done. She's carrying like 7 gallons of milk.
There's 7 gallons of milk in the fridge. And there's no children. There's no babies.
Facts. Yeah, but that was that night. So it was like, it was mainly the dance, and then they had a different room. It was like a game room where there was like an obstacle course and stuff. It was pretty cool. I don't know. It was a random room. Then the morning came. You had
what
breakfast.
is that? The ninja game? Like the ninja show?
Oh, like the
American Ninja, American Mormon Warrior or some shit like that. That's what we're doing.
But then and they had 9 Square and stuff like that.
9 Square.
You never heard of 9 Square?
What's 9 Square?
So it's kind of like 4 Square, but 9 squares obviously. But instead of on the ground, it's above you. You're like inside this square, and you can't let let's just say all these are squares. I'm in it, and it has to go over the different square, and you can't let it hit the ground on your square.
So it's like 3D chess.
It's like no, it's like 3D 4 Square, whatever.
What? But you had to bump it up to 9?
I don't know. I didn't make these games.
Is that because Mormons have mad kids?
That's crazy.
They're like too many siblings were left out when they were starting to play games.
I never
we
thought of that.
need 9
That's
Square.
so funny, dude. But then there was a service project where we had to make blankets for dogs or like animals in shelters.
Okay.
It was a random. It was neat. It was hard work though. I was slaving because you had to you just got fabric. You're supposed to cut the fabric into a specific dimension, 2 of them, then tie them together using a very specific way.
So it doesn't come undone, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't come undone.
So they had you out there sewing, basically.
Oh, we were out there and it was inside, the conference centers that they do for conventions and stuff like that. We were doing that for 2-3 hours. It was rough. It was rough. And then we went to SeaWorld for the rest of the day.
Manual labor once. It's like our dogs.
Then it was SeaWorld for pretty much the rest of the day. And then in the afternoon, they had they set up a room. It was like a movie night, essentially. And they had those inflatable beanbag chairs. I don't know if you've seen them. It's like a beanbag chair, but it's just inflatable.
But it's just air,
Yeah. So that, and then a different room was just bingo or trivia or whatever. I don't know. Just random stuff. And then the next day was Sunday, so then you had your church meetings, and then it was out. Go home.
Was it just one giant church meeting, with everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
that's cool. I like that.
It was fun. I had a bunch of fun.
I mean, it sounds fun. I think
I had a bunch of fun.
I'll go to.
But I went with the purpose of let me not have fun with people I already know.
Yeah.
Meet random people and have fun with them. So it was a good time.
I think it sounds like you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah.
Except for the chocolate milk. Oh no, that was at the center.
That's a different thing. That's a different place.
Yeah.
Except that
So
dance.
did they have
sometimes
chocolate
is
milk
wild.
on tap?
No, we're normal here. That's a Utah thing,
The
dude.
Utah thing?
That is the 100% Utah thing.
I'm gonna look into that.
What? Look
I
into
feel like
chocolate milk.
Yeah, there's. Listen,
Bro, they love. I'm not joking. That was because when I went there, I was only there for 3 weeks, I think, in that training center, and it's in Provo, Utah. I don't know if you're.
I don't know Utah, but it sounds like the hub.
It's in Utah. I'm in the culture.
Okay.
And this is my first time ever in Utah, and being amongst this many people from Utah, so to speak. And yeah, it was close to a culture shock.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's even for you, because you're a Mormon,
Uh-huh.
so it shouldn't be.
Well, all I know is people from
Yeah, but it
Florida,
shouldn't.
and they're kind of wild.
I would think it wouldn't be that drastic.
Oh no!
But it is
no.
the way you've explained it. It is.
They maybe don't even know 5 people that aren't members of the church, probably.
And you're weird if
They
you don't.
can't name anyone.
If you don't like chocolate milk, you're weird.
Probably, I don't know.
Man, there's a show. I just remembered it. I think I sent you clips. And it's one of those terrible reality shows.
Okay.
But it's based off Mormon married couples.
Okay.
And it's the guys are all struggling with SSA.
SSA.
Same sex attraction. Because Mormons,
So are gay?
they're gay.
Okay.
But because they're Mormons, they're like, no, we're not. They can't admit they're gay, I guess.
Okay.
So this show follows them like navigating that and like
Okay.
telling their Mormons
What
friends.
show is this?
Bro,
Where you find this stuff?
TLC, man, it's my
TLC
garbage.
is so wild.
It's so much garbage, but I love it. It's my guilty pleasure.
It
That
was wild
and
stuff ever.
90 Day Fiance, which is full of Mormons
yeah.
too. But no, so they'll tell like their other Mormon friends like, hey, this is kind of how we live,
and they all
and
get
it-
shunned or whatever.
yeah, they're like, yeah, I don't believe in any of that, and they'll like walk out. They're like, I don't want to hang out with them anymore.
That's
It's-
wild.
And then they'll
I
tell
I
their
have a
wives.
gay friend, by the way.
They're
She's awesome.
oh Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
Sam.
solid. Self-proclaimed the most combative dyke in Palm Beach County.
Come back on. Oh wait, I realized the reference. That's hilarious.
But yeah, they'll tell their wives like, "Oh, we're gonna go camping for the weekend," and she's like, "Where? With who?" It's like, "Oh, it's Steve, and you know, just a bunch of guys." And she's like, "Okay."
There's nothing
do you
wrong
know
with that.
He's like, "Do you know these guys?" Like, "No, I never met them before." It's like, "Okay."
Why, that's weird. Why are you going camping?
Yeah,
with
they're
people
gonna
you
go
don't
have.
know?
They're gonna go have man love
Okay.
in the woods.
Man, love is crazy.
They're just. He's just telling his wife that.
Oh,
we're
this
going
man's just
camping.
married.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
The wives know
That's
what's going
hilarious.
on, but they have to be nice because they're like so in their religion that they're just like, we can't admit that he's gay. We just have to say he's.
I mean, you can be openly gay.
He's
though.
struggling with this.
You can be openly gay.
I
though.
feel like here, yes, maybe South Florida, yes, and maybe in more logical people, yes, in your religion.
Okay, it's
But-
like it's a culture thing. Then
I think it's a
probably?
culture thing
Okay.
and like maybe a regional thing. Like if you're like you said,
Oh, speaking of which, have you seen that Hulu show
Which
of
one?
the Mormon wives thing? Mormon wives things?
no,
It was
I
like
heard
this
of it.
huge scandal. Like it was
I
talking
heard about it, but I haven't
how
seen
it's
it.
a massive misrepresentation.
Oh, I'm
Of,
sure.
because they're from I haven't seen anything. I only know of the trailer, and I saw like this video of people like that have were in podcasts that talked about it.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And then they watched the
that's where I
trailer
heard
and then
about it.
reacted to it. And apparently, like on it, because it's just a bunch of different couples,
Uh-huh.
married couples, and I guess like they're all friends somehow. And a couple of them are, what's it called when you hit? They like swap partners.
Swingers.
That's a thing. Yeah, they do that. Well, that's wild.
So that's okay, but they can't be gay. All right. that's
No,
fine.
so they do that, and they thought everything was okay, but then I guess one set of swap went too far.
Yeah, because there's rules and stuff to all that stuff.
What to what?
To swinging.
Oh, there's rules.
There's
People
rules.
make these rules.
Yeah, there's rules. The swingers make the rules, but there's rules. 1000%.
So it has to be like agreed upon what's going to happen.
Yeah,
What's
yeah. You can't just wild out in somebody's wife.
Oh.
Like, there's sometimes there's some boundaries like
Yes.
hey, I'm gonna have fun with your wife, you can have fun with my wife, but don't do
That's
that.
wild.
It's
No
a
matter
thing.
what context, that's
We
a
made
wild
it-
statement.
Me and Mason made a joke about that once in front of you, and it completely went over your head.
Oh, really?
And Mason just looked at me. He's like, "Are you talking about swingers?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he started dying laughing. He's
When
like,
was
he,
this?
Because he doesn't get it. We were just in my office, once upon a time.
Uh-huh. I don't remember this at all. But
It completely went over your head.
Oh,
You had
okay.
no idea what we were talking.
fair enough.
But yeah.
Oh, and then you posted something. You posted something a couple days ago. And I saw it, and I
Oh,
sat
yeah,
there
you
for a
didn't
good
get
2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What is he talking about?" I was like, I
Put
don't
that freak
know.
on the phone, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
I was so
I'll
wrong.
explain that. So I think we have a topic for next time.
Okay.
We're gonna explain the rules of swinging.
No, please don't.
You're never gonna get in that world.
Please don't.
Oh well, I
I
don't know
don't
because
care,
there's some
though.
Mormons doing it.
I don't
But
care enough.
We're gonna go over the rules. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh Lord.
Look up all the rules.
All I heard is like there's like this sign. There's a sign that you would know that these people are into it.
It's an
'Cause you
upside
can't
down
just-
pineapple.
Yeah. Okay. I've heard of that. Like, because you can't like, for some reason you can't just openly.
Well, not
So, like, who
everybody's
wants
into
to do
that.
this?
So it's like some people might be weird, but I guess they want to know without asking. So like, imagine you're into that,
Okay.
and like you don't know if your friend's into that, but you don't want to bring it up either.
Oh,
Because
'cause you wanna
once you
mess up
bring
the
it up, they're
relationship?
gonna know you're into it.
Okay.
But if
it's
you go
gonna
to their
ruin
house-
the relationship or
Yeah,
whatever?
if you go to their house for like dinner or something,
And then you see, so
You
how
see
would
it
you
in
be
the-
like, oh, so let's do
you're
it.
like, oh, okay. Then you know to at least bring it up, I would guess.
Okay.
Because once you bring it up, it's brought up. And
So
if
do
it,
people like
they're-
troll and have it, but then like don't do it?
I don't know
and
if
then it'd be
anyone
like-
would do that. That's a big troll.
Oh, is
That's
it?
a big troll.
Is that like a,
And that's
breaching
messed up.
confidence, whatever?
Well, yeah, because that's imagine you do that because you're just trolling, and then you find out your friend is actually into that, so they bring it up to you, and then you're like, oh no, I just do that to mess with people, but now they feel some type of way.
Why? Don't be a freak.
Some people are being freaky, dog.
No,
Don't judge.
y'all-
Don't judge. Don't judge.
And all y'all need Jesus. And what do y'all need Jesus?
Some
Y'all-
of them are
y'all
screaming
are
for
wild.
Jesus. That's what's going on.
Oh Lord, get
All
me
right,
out of here.
We're out of here. We've gone off the rails.
It's too late for to have these conversations.